Today we're going to compare Lifetime Tamarack Pro up against the Lifetime Teton. The Tamarack Pro is able to get from Wal-Mart. The Teton I got from Dick's Sporting Goods. And I actually bought both of these kayaks for the same price. So able to get them for $349 because the Teton was on sale at Dick's. The Tamarack Pro is $349 regular price. But it comes with more features. Let me explain. So for $349, if you're able to find them, you end up getting the same seat. You get a stow hatch, and the inside has a little insert, and it's even got a spot where you can knock out for placing pliers. Then you can remove this insert if you want access inside the hull. The adjustable foot pegs, I like those quite a bit more than your molded in foot pegs. It came with the other rod holder, and it came with this paddle. In my other video, if you watch that, you'll see that this paddle is probably more designed for smaller kids, maybe some teenagers. I wasn't a big fan of it, but it did come with a paddle. There's no rear storage hatch, but it does come with these tracks. The tracks are a little bit different than the ones on the Teton, but overall, for the same price, I'd say it's a better deal. And going back over to the Lifetime Teton, I've added a few things to it already, and this is after about one season worth of fishing in it. So I got it in the spring of 2020. So I added in the hatches, but I put a hatch in the front and a hatch in the back, so that was an added cost. I added a rod holder mount here. It didn't come with. That was an added cost. And I added this Scotty mounted track adapter for a cup holder that also holds pliers and stuff. I'll show you that in a minute, but those are all add-ons. So to get the other kayak for the same price, yeah, I'd say it's a better deal. The other added expense for the Teton was picking up a paddle. I'm a big fan of the Bending Branches paddles, so I picked up this one. I'll put a link below in the description. But this is the Bending Branches Angler Classic. And the reason I like this one is you have this little notch down here, and that helps you free up lures in shallow water that may get snagged, or your anchor line to give you a little added pull power. But this is the rod holder I mounted to it, and I'll put links below for how I made this little rod leash with a Cable Cup Pro. But they're pretty slick. One-handed operation. Put that around your rod. Done. And then this is the cup holder that I use for it, which kind of keeps it out of the way. Pretty easy to use. And of course I added an anchor trolley. So there's a few added expenses on this one that the Tamarack Pro doesn't have. But side by side, pretty much exactly the same length. One added benefit on the Tamarack Pro is how they do their paddle stow. So if you can see this, they've got a recessed part in the mold, and paddle parks there pretty easily. Keeps it pretty stable. One-handed operation, goes on pretty nice. The only drawback I see is these through holes. So Gonna have to find a way to seal that up because I'm pretty sure that's close to the water line. And with those holes being so close to, I mean the water line's probably down here, but if you're a big guy going on these kayaks, that water's going to get up in those holes, so I need to find a way to seal those up. But if you compare that to the Teton, doesn't have anything for holding that paddle on while you're rustling this little bungee. So not all that great. Now they do advertise that the paddle can be stored in these molds up here, and over here, but that is a pretty far stretch from the seated position. And a couple of wiggles and that thing's in the water. I've already found that out. But the other thing is, you can see, actually, I'll just bring this paddle over to give everybody a size comparison. There's a size comparison of the two paddles. So, if you're close to my height, which I'm about 5'10", 5'11", depending on which camera catches me, I like that size. Works out pretty well for me. And I don't know the size. Oh, there it is. 240 centimeters. So 240 on these kayaks works pretty good for someone my height.